So previous day we concluded up to line number 195, the Merchant of Venice. We are in
Page number 144.
okay, total silence. Just follow me. I will be telling each and everything. See, it's page number 144, Act 5, Scene 1 in your book, and we concluded up to 195, line number 195. So before beginning, let's make a quick recap of what we have read there and what are the significances of this specific scene, means Act 5, Scene 1. Previously, we must have discussed the fact that the climax of this specific play is obviously the trial scene. There we reached the height of our excitement when Shylock got the due punishment through Portia's tremendous level of intelligence inside the courtroom of Venice. That was in Act 4, Scene 1. And after that, practically all excitements were lost because we have reached to the conclusion. The protagonist got the right kind of a reward, the antagonist got the right kind of a punishment. Absolutely no debate over that. But after that, Shakespeare just added two more scenes. That means Act 4, Scene 2, and now the ongoing one, that is Act 5, Scene 1. Some people will say that after the conclusion of the trial scene, the drama shouldn't have been continuing. The drama shouldn't have been continuing that much longer. So as a result of debate whether it was appropriate on the part of Shakespeare to add this specific one, Act 5, Scene 1. Probably there are two reasons to do that. The dramatist wanted to add at least a comedy kind of a twist by adding one specific romantic moment which is exhibited in the first 30 lines of this scene, the conversation between Lorenzo and Jessica. After that, another event was still to be sorted out, the ring episode, that is yet to be sorted out. So for that reason also, this prolonged Act 5, Scene 1 was necessary. So we are almost towards the conclusive part. Portia and Nerissa have returned. Bassanio and Gratiano, they have also returned. In page number 144, line number 196, we begin our reading today. So let's concentrate. What ring gave you, my lord? Portia is asking. Not that, I hope, which you received of me. So we remember that towards the end of the previous day's reading, we found there was an altercation, kind of a quarrel started between Nerissa and Gratiano over that ring which Gratiano has parted with that lawyer's clerk, actually Nerissa in disguise. That was part of another plot of planning. But at that time, Gratiano just disclosed that Bassanio has also done the same thing, parted with the ring from Portia. So Portia is just asking for clarification in these two lines. She says, I repeat 196. What ring gave you, my lord? Not that, I hope, which you received of me. Bassanio says, if I could add a lie unto a fault, I would deny it. But you are my finger. You see my finger hath not the ring upon it. It is gone. So the basic information comes with the last three words. He is confirming it is gone because you can just visualize that it is not exactly available or there in my finger. So you will not be saying that. So that confirms. Portia says, even so void is your false heart of truth. By heaven, I will never be your wife until I see the ring. So these three lines, actually I told you in a very plain voice. But Portia must have been bubbling with a kind of passion. That passion is one of anger. She must have been angry. Though it is just a fake one. We all know that she has designed everything. But sometimes pretension becomes more animated. So it is expected that Portia must have been screaming out. She must have been exclaiming in front in order to make the entire fake event appearing like a truthful one. Nerissa says, nor I be yours till I again see mine. So this is addressed to Gratiano on the part of Nerissa. She is going to be following the footsteps of Portia. We are in page number 145. Bassanio is in a state of dilemma. He is hesitant. He knows that it is just going to be too tough for him to find some sort of excuse. Still, he is trying. He says, "Sweet Portia, if you did know to whom I gave the ring," so this is how he is just trying to make some clarification. "If you did know for whom I gave the ring, and would conceive for what I gave the ring, and how unwillingly," so this word we need to be remembering. He is making an admission that it was totally unintentional. I was compelled, I was coerced into this kind of an activity. I left the ring when not would be accepted, nothing would be accepted. See the spelling of the word, NAUGHT. Not would be accepted but the ring. That is line number 210. I resume from there. "And how unwillingly, not really intended, I left the ring when not would be accepted but the ring. You would abate the strength of your displeasure." So once you know everything, means once you go through my explanation or learn about it, you will abate. Abate means reduce. Just lessen your anger towards me. You are definitely displeased, but I have my excuses. But Portia, she continues to be totally aggressive and angry. She says, "If you had known the virtue of the ring," here virtue stands for real value, the magical power that is infused with the sensation of love, or half her worthiness that gave the ring, and that is, she is talking about her own personality, that if you had some knowledge about the value of that ring, it is associated or almost symbolical to the person who has delivered it, that is myself, or your own honor to contain the ring. You would not then have parted with the ring. What man is this, so much unreasonable, if you had pleased to have defended it with any terms of zeal, wanted the modesty to urge the thing hailed as a ceremony?" So if we just go to the footnotes on the right hand side, line number 219 to 20, what is stated here, "Which man," means who is that man, "would have been lacking in good manners as to insist on having a thing which you held almost sacred." Sacred means holy, and here the word denoted by ceremony. So if you consider it really valuable, if you consider it really the emblem of someone's finest of sentiment, and also the association with our relationship, so you would have been considering it as something ceremonious, something sacred, holy, and you wouldn't have been parting with that ring. You would have been defending it using any kind of excuses. Nerissa teaches me what to believe. So I got a lesson from Nerissa. I will die for it, but some woman had the ring. So from previous altercation between Graciano and Nerissa, where Nerissa was actually blaming Graciano that you have given this ring to a woman, and that is another faulty thing, adding some more value or more importance to the specific mistake you have committed. So I am going to be following the footsteps of Nerissa. I believe she has told the right thing, and I am also telling that some woman has got it from you. So Portia is actually right, but the man who has given it, he is confirmed that he has given it to a man. So he says, "No, by mine honor, madam." So he is taking oath and telling, "By my soul, no woman had it but a civil doctor." That is the doctor of law who was conducting the court in Venice. Obviously, that is Dr. Balthazar, and disguised Portia, which did refuse 3,000 ducats of me and beg the ring, the which I did deny him, and suffered him to go displeased away. Even he had held up the very life of my dear friend. What should I say, sweet lady? I was enforced to send it after him. So here he is actually trying to indicate that it was not on my own whim. I have delivered that ring to that person. I was enforced, I was compelled, I was rather persuaded by none other than Antonio. So he just told me to part with that ring, and I sent it later. I was beset with shame and courtesy. Beset means overcome. I was overcome with this kind of a sensation or feeling. My honor would not let ingratitude so much besmear. Besmear means spread out, or stain, or mark it. Pardon me, good lady, for these blessed candles of the night. So I almost, he is taking an oath or attempting to take up an oath that this is the last mistake I have committed. Allow me a second chance. So that kind of an idea. Page number 146. We are in line number 234. So gradually, bit by bit, we are reaching to the conclusive part of this play. Had you been there, I think. So here once again, Bassanio is justifying. He is telling Portia, if you were in my place, I think you would have been begged the ring of me to give the worthy doctor. So the doctor means whom I have just given it. He is just worthy. He was capable of getting this kind of a reward. Portia says, let not that doctor ever come near my house, since he hath got the jewel that I loved, and that which you did swear to keep for me. I will become as liberal as you. I will not deny him anything I have. So Portia is just presenting some sort of warning for Bassanio. You are so kind-hearted towards that person whom you have given the ring. I have given to you. So if it happens that person comes near my house, who knows what other things I am going to be giving it to that very person. In that case, you are going to be on the losing side. Nerissa says to Graciano, almost copying from there and just repeating, nor I his clerk, means my behavior towards the clerk will almost be the same. Therefore, be well advised how you to leave me to mine own protection. Antonio realizes that this moment requires his intervention. He just interferes and wants to stop this quarreling. He says, I am the unhappy subject of this quarrel. That means I am the reason. I am the person who is responsible for all these things. Who knows? Probably he is beginning from that bond signed with Shylock. From that day only, all these debates have started bit by bit. That was the root event. So Antonio says, I am behind everything. So don't blame my friend. Talk to me or consider my plea. Portia says, Sir, grieve not you. So Portia realizes her game involves Bassanio. Nerissa's game involves Graciano. But this gentleman has nothing to do with that. So Portia, like any intelligent individual, she knows where to stop and how much is going to be the limit for her for any kind of gameplay or things like that. It is actually a gameplay going on. So she stops. She behaves in a more restrained manner and says, Sir, addressing to Antonio, give not ear. You are welcome notwithstanding. Means whatever has happened, I am aggrieved. I am very much angry with Bassanio still. Allow me to say to you that you are not involved in any kind of happening or action taking place at this moment. You are most welcome. You are heartily welcome in this house. Bassanio says, Portia, forgive me. This enforced wrong. That means it is happening. It has happened, rather, quite unwillingly from my part. I was compelled to do everything, or I was forced into these actions. And in the hearing of these many friends, I swear thee. Hearing of these many friends means in front of all my friends here. I just take another oath. I swear, even by thine own fair eyes, wherein I see myself. So he was going to present or make one more big oath, but in between Portia stops him. He says, mark you but that, yes, once again, see, you are trying to do the same thing, making that big promise, and ultimately you are not going to be keeping that in future. If situations like that actually comes. In both my eyes, he doubly sees himself. In each eyes, one, swear by your double self, and there is an oath of credit. So actually, Portia is indicating towards double standard maintained by young men in love. They just keep making tall promises, and whenever the situation comes, they just fail to live up to the expectation. So it is almost a kind of generalization. And now Bassanio says, nay, but hear me, pardon this fault, and by my soul I swear I never more will break an oath with thee. So Bassanio once again confirms that I just promise, and trust me, believe me. Page number 147, and we have only 2 more pages left. So I think all of you have the patience left to go through that. Antonio says, I once did lend my body. Okay, but before that you read up to this. Quickly read up to this and see if any problem is there.
আমি চপ বানাবো না না এখানে একটা লোক সত্যি সত্যি চপ বানাও
কার্বোহাইড্রেট
মানুষের চপই আছে কই আমার তো পায়ের নগরী বানাবো না না মতকে বানাবো
So we concluded up to line number 256, right? So now we resume from line number 257, page number 147. It's Antonio. He is just drawing himself into that debate. He realizes that it's time to just settle the matter and ensure that peace prevails. So he says, I once did lend my body for his wealth. He is just mentioning of that bond related matter, that once I risked or presented myself as a guarantor for his wealth. That means when he collected those 3,000 ducats from Shylock. Lend here stands for pledge. I just pledged. Which, but for him that had your husband's ring, had quite miscarried. Miscarried, that means completely lost. Been completely lost. I dare be bound again. Means once again, I take the responsibility. I speak on behalf of your husband and make the promise. Yes, he is not going to be repeating this mistake. My soul upon the forfeit. My soul upon the forfeit that your Lord, Bassanio, will never more break faith advisedly. So advisedly, intentionally, deliberately. Portia says, then you shall be his surety. Once again, Portia realizes that it's time to just settle down and no more playing. Okay, concentrate.
I was just thinking if Bassanio breaks his oath, what will happen to
Obviously, that is really going to be a big trouble for the man, Antonio. And probably due to that thinking about that, Shakespeare hasn't added any more scene there. Okay, coming back. If he breaks his promise once again, what will happen? That is the $1 million question. But now the present situation is something different. We are coming back to the lines. Portia says, then you shall be his surety, give him this, and bid him keep it better than the other. Okay, now 2 words we need to concentrate upon. First one, this. This means she is handing over something, and that is another ring. Actually, no different one, the same one, but she is using the word other, indicating that this is a different one. Antonio says, here Lord Bassanio, swear to keep the ring. Antonio passes it to Bassanio, and see the reaction of the man in line number 265. He says, by heaven, it is the same I gave the doctor. So he seems to be having that kind of a belief. Okay, this is the same one. How on earth it is here in this room, and from Portia I am getting this. Though he says, it is the same I gave the doctor. Portia says, I had it of him. Pardon me, Bassanio. That means I collected it from the doctor. Once again, Portia was trying to be a little bit playful Nerissa says, and pardon me, my gentle Graciano, for the same scrubbed boy, that is, not really, not really tall, very much. It is indicated towards that clerk, lawyer's clerk. The doctor's clerk did give me this. Now, Portia, she is now considering that enough is enough. Line number 270 onward, Portia is going to be disclosing all the secrets and will just be telling each and everything about the disguise and few more things. And sometimes when I read this first time or read this first time, it was my idea that Portia is as if the fairy with the magic wand in this specific part. She is going to be satisfying everyone. She is going to be providing soothing touches to everyone. She is going to be solving issues or problems with lots of blessings and rewards, just like a good fairy comes inside our dream and soothes our nerves. So Portia says, you are all amazed. Means all of you must have been surprised or puzzled at this moment. Lot many questions are to be answered. Here is a letter. Read it at your leisure. It comes from Padua, from Bellario. So this letter says everything regarding that disguise court episode. Padua is connected to Dr. Bellario, the person who skipped the trial session courtroom activity. There you shall find that Portia was the doctor. So Portia is now explaining that the doctor inside the courtroom, means lawyer who conducted the court proceeding, was none other than Portia herself. Nerissa there, her clerk. Lorenzo here shall witness, I set forth as soon as you. Means Lorenzo will disclose one thing. As soon as you, means Bassanio and Graciano, you have left Bellman, we also departed. So this Lorenzo is a witness. He will be telling or confirming this. Shall witness, I set forth as soon as you, and even but now returned. Means just now I have come back, just before you. You have arrived. I have not yet entered my house. Antonio, you are welcome, and I have better news in store for you than you expect. Unseal this letter soon. There you shall find 3 of your Argoses. That means those big merchant ships. Now what I have been telling, Portia is the great fairy with that magic wand, as if she is now going to be blessing, providing rewards to each and every person who are in trouble. The first person in trouble is obviously Antonio. So this is just the biggest of news. The man wouldn't have been dreaming of that as well, that 3 of his Argoses, those are making a comeback. And this is very much a mysterious thing, where Portia did get this information, how it reached her, and suddenly she is just disclosing this. Nothing of that was told earlier, and actually for a fine comic end, this kind of explanations are not at all needed. We are satisfied with the entertainment. A richly come to harbor suddenly, means all your Argoses, specifically 3 of those Argoses are coming back. That is going to be making Antonio once again a rich fellow. His problems are going to be sorted out, economic issues. You shall not know by what strange accident I chanced on this letter. Means I got this letter from which source, by what kind of an accidental situation, I am not going to be explaining. Antonio's reaction, he just says 3 specific words. I am dumb. That means I am speechless. That is his reaction after listening to that. Bassanio says, were you the doctor, and I knew you not? So confused Bassanio gets a chance to express his opinion that you have been the legal doctor and talking in front of me inside the courtroom, and I couldn't recognize you. So he appears to be almost kicking himself with a kind of irritation. So Graciano says, were you the clerk? He is asking in a similar pattern. Antonio, in between, says that, sweet lady, you have given me life and living. So these 2 words, life and living, we understand. By life he indicates how Portia saved him from Shylock's bond related matters, and the living means those 3 Argoses, the news of their return. So you have given me life and you have given me enough of wealth to live or sustain. For here I read for certain that my ships are safely come to road. So Antonio, so just see, within a span of 4 or 5 lines, he has completed reading the entire letter. So the man is very eager. So the man is very eager to go through the letter, and he has concluded the letter also. So Portia says, "How now, Lorenzo?" Portia, the fairy, now turns towards another person, the man called Lorenzo. Is there any kind of a reward for him? Yes. Definitely. We all know about that. That is no secret with the audience. How now, Lorenzo? My clerk had some good comforts too for you. So rewards are waiting for you. My clerk is going to be handing over to you. That very one. Nerissa says, and I will give him without a fee. This time I am going to be giving this good news without any kind of a fee or charges. There do I give to you and Jessica. You means Lorenzo, addressing to him, Nerissa says, this is for you and Jessica from the rich Jew, a special deed of gift. That deed of inheritance from the rich Jew, that means Shylock. After his death, of all he dies possessed of. So you are going to be inheriting the property of Shylock. Lorenzo. Yes.
If he finishes everything before he dies.
Actually, Shylock, it appears that Shylock is a transformed personality now, and it was indicated that he is going to be becoming a Christian very soon. And by that logic, we expect that the man is going to be no more an antagonist, but a good individual or so. So whatever, that is the afterthought. We come back here. Lorenzo says, his reaction, he says, fair ladies, you drop manna in the way of starved people. So manna, it is told in footnote number 296. From here only you are going to get a special question of 2 marks or 3 marks itself. So the footnote itself you need to remember nicely. It is from the Old Testament of Bible. The Jews are described as wandering people in the desert of a long journey. When they were starving, God sent them divine food called manna, which they found living on the ground. This happened in the answers of Moses' prayer to God. So this is Exodus 16 to 14. So here, from this specific reference, verses. So, yes.
Why opposite? Why it is to be 14 to 16?
Okay. Let's come back here in the last few lines without entering into those explanations. Actually, that is the pattern of the authors and Bible, etc. You never know who is the specific person to write it. So,
These guys.
actually, questions. To see Lorenzo's reaction, that means I am starved, I am very much hungry, and you are giving something. For a hungry person, a little amount of simple food is enough, but you have given me luxurious royal food, and that is really a pleasing experience. Portia says, it is almost morning, so they are talking for a long time, and it is understood that they are all standing outside, probably in that specific state. It started way back in the evening. We started everything way back in the evening. And yet I am sure you are not satisfied. That means you want more explanations. All your queries are not really supplied with correct and satisfactory answers. And these events at full, let us go in. So she is proposing, let us go inside. We have a lot to discuss. We have a lot to talk about. More mysteries are to be sorted out. If you are not satisfied, I am going to be making more and more clarifications. But night is over. It is practically approaching dawn. Time to go inside and charge us there upon interrogatories. And we will answer all things faithfully. Means to your satisfaction, all clarifications will be made. And the last speech of this play is entrusted with the most talkative of the characters. Graciano says, but this time he says something meaningfully. He says, let it be so. Yes, lot of debates have already been taken place. So let it be so, as Portia intended. Well, while I live, I will fear no other thing so sore of keeping safe Nereus' ring. So he makes one promise. Whatever happens, let us go inside. But I make the promise once again. Whatever I lose, I will lose. But I will never lose Portia's ring. So with that promise, yes, Nereus' ring. So probably Bassanio is going to be telling the same thing. I will never lose Portia's ring. Okay, we conclude Act 5, Scene 1 and the entire drama also. So quickly go through it.